Okay, well, here's the deal. I forgot to turn audio on for our Anduin kill, so just gonna overdub this. And yeah, sorry, I was checking a stream during break. Forgot to re-enable it. So here we go. Um, Good old Anduin Rin. So we start with hopping. I guess I'll just talk through what I was doing at least monk-wise. Start with all the cooldown type stuff. It's good to get him kind of low. We sent a larger force down for the first set, tried to kill all 4 ads. So popping cooldowns here is fine. We don't really need them with the more people down there. It's always good to get the barrier soaked up, just like that. And then he does the marks. We just got melee to get out quickly. We tried to have stars plant. That didn't always happen that way, but Raid seemed to figure it out reasonably well. Then he's going to do this Kingsmorn, and Group 1 is going to go down. So again, Group 1's a little more stacked than Group 2 is. So we're aiming to kill everything down here. That orange marker is a good grip point. So our Sloan DK, will just grip everything in. Watching the swirlies here, because Hopebreaker is about to cast. That'll hit down here as well. So if people get hit by swirlies here, it's a scary time. As you can see, our raid health oscillating a bit. And then we just go over here and kill this last guy. And we're Vantised, and it's week 2, so not a ton of damage is required for this, but we are sending a little more down. Come up, and then people immediately get in the barrier. It's over here. Make sure that it clears. We made sure to come up after the marks went out, so that people wouldn't come up and then immediately get marked. So it's a bit of a damage check, and then there's the stars. Stars are very lethal on Heroic, as expected, so don't stand in them. Team 2 is going down here, so then you'll see Team 1 up top. We had our Druid Trank here and tried to keep Orange relatively clear for that, although she would get targeted by Star plenty of times too, so it's not the most reliable thing. But you see in this case, oh well, there, she got the third one. Pulling him out of the barrier so I don't die, because they're healing up the barrier. Barrier shrinks pretty well there. And we get marks. The downstairs team is not killing small ads, so there's no way they're going to come up before this mark goes out. But they're up now. We get a tank swap, and then there's the intermission. So one thing we had a little bit of difficulty on the intermission with was the taunt timings. We settled on what we're going to do in this pull, which is I'm going to taunt the big guy right away, and then I'll taunt the small ad right away because it spawns about 8 seconds after the big guy. If you have one tank take each, then you run into problems with taunts on the big guy unless you have multiple taunts. So anyway, see, I take the Lich King right away, and then we have this other ad that gets taunted right away, although I lose aggro on it. Oops. My taunt wasn't enough. I need to hit it a little bit more. But no one died, so we're happy. Then, of course, we called to burn this ad around 50%. It starts its cast around 40%, if I remember right. So there's someone actively calling that, again, muted. So there's more of this, same kind of intermission. The second ad's usually harder to kill than the first in our experience, just because of how cooldowns are lining up. So really being active on this guy. Then we're just taunt swapping every Soul Reaper, of course. So we'll go to stage 2. Stage 2 is just like stage 1, except they're ads instead of the spread mechanic. So you lose some boss damage, and if a star hits an ad, it's basically a wipe unless the ad has very, very low HP, because it starts healing him and makes him CC immune. I think we got lucky on this pull where both of the ad sets spawned in the middle. So here's a middle ad set. I hate when they spawn on the sides because then you have to find one right away. We have good CCs there from the hunters, and then see he's pulled off center so that the star here doesn't hit that ad in the middle. Well, we killed it in time anyway, but sometimes the star would hit the ad and it'd be a problem. We also leave him put here so the stars are easier to dodge while the raid goes and hits. The reflection over here, that's not the best for DPS, but we seem to have enough to be able to do it and play a little safer. And then team 1 is about to go down again here. So the tank that's going down should be the last person hit by the boss, ideally, so that his stacks are as low as possible for the tank that stays up. But downstairs is basically the same. So I'm going to take the big ad over to orange-ish, dodge some swirlies. We'll grip in the third ad. 2 of those are the slappy hands, and get the third one down, and then we're just going to rotate over, trying to keep him in that wild hunter thing for a bit. And then we're just coming up right away. There's no need to delay there, since there's no debuff to accidentally get when you come up. See, there's stars and a barrier. The barrier comes out right before we go up there, so we're able to clear it pretty well with the whole raid. And then he's doing more ads, which again, 1 spawns in the middle, lucky us. I guess they used to spawn 4, but it's been nerfed, so we're doing the 3. Our plan here is actually to only kill 2 of these for now, since they can be CC'd for a long time. So we kill the middle one, and we're killing X, but we're not going to break square. So stars again can't go through the ad. If your tank is in between the boss and the ad, then that's kind of a safe place to plant as well. But we had trouble here when we would have to start kicking it and also try to heal the barrier. Here he does a hope breaker right after that. It's pretty rough, so we just link, we rally, he just starts doing more stars, and we just pump the barrier to get it up. So just watching the stars, moving over to the third ad. Now the whole raid's here. We're just torching it to make sure we get it down in time. We're going to Lust in the next intermission because you get the double damage on the boss, but we're having some trouble on the big ads, finishing them off. So our Lust timing, I don't know how standard it is, but we're going to put it on the first big ad burn with the hope that it carries over to the second big ad, at least part of it. So same thing, I'm going to taunt him, and then I'm going to taunt the big ad when it comes in. But of course there's walls, so we got to move right away, which is a bit rough. It's a lot to pay attention to. There you got the monster's soul. And for cooldowns for tank, like trinkets and stuff coming up. So yeah, just trading on the Soul Reapers, looking out for walls. Necrotic Detonation 1 is going on there, so we lusted. There's some wall spawns behind us. It's important to not stand at the wall, like some of our people are doing, because if the walking wall spawns at, right there, that can be very scary if they came out at a different time. Anyway, so we still have 16 seconds on Lust, so it can help. I just got punched there. Oops. 8 seconds still on Lust. The monster's soul is about to hit 40. So we can kill that. Lust just wore off, so it's good timing. And then this is really our second time in stage 3. Like, we've done it on normal. So it turned into a whole clusterfuck. We yelled at people to get out of middle, of course, and then we had 4 groups assigned. The note's not active, but each person in the raid is supposed to soak in groups 1, 2, 3, or 4. But we went a little slow because we weren't really used to it, so we lost some people to that. So you want to spread out here, and then everyone again gets a debuff. And team 1's supposed to go, so there should be about 7 of these debuffs up here, which is good. And then someone clipped it, so it extended. That's not good. And now team 2's kind of going. I'm going with them. Again, 6, you pause. So then team 3 goes. Some people should be moving, and there's stars during this, so that's scary. And team 4, everyone else should clear here. And you see they're just waiting because we called a hold and we lost those 4 people. So there's enough time if you kind of move, but again, we weren't very practiced at it. So we got our tank up. I used all my healing things. Still got Fort Brew, probably should use that, but he's gonna smack really hard later on and I might need it. Let's go to AMZ. 6 stacks of the dot, not super pleasant with the healer down, but manageable. Here's another set We're going to also try to clear these. So again, group 1 would go in here, which is melee, so they can get back and be hitting the boss without killing each other. Group 2, I think, panics, or 3, I don't remember. Yeah, see, there's some panic here, and we lose half our raid. That's not good. Group 3 goes, and there's more stars to dodge around group 3 timing. And then group 4 just clears. Anyone left should be clearing now, ideally. Which we do okay. And then basically at this point, it's hoping that we can limp across the finish line. So, spoiler, we do, but it's not looking fantastic at the moment. Fortunately, he doesn't really do anything. Other than kind of rot damage and then this empowered hope breaker for a while. He'll do stars eventually, but the plan is to just kind of plant with the debuffs. Unfortunately, we have like 6 people vying for melee room. They can't really, so we gotta screw up here. Our tank decides to jump off to give them space. I'm not sure that was the best decision. That was a chain reaction that just went off there, and so now it's just hoping that people live for long enough. And yeah, again, we have some ranged, some survivable classes like rogue, some onks, and we managed to get them down. So fun boss. And we did Vantis it. It's week 2 heroic. We don't have all the 4-piece and whatnot, but it's definitely definitely a step up from the usual heroic tiers, and that was a good time. So thanks for watching.